Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Amari Kalia and I am finally back with another video. First of all, if y'all hear a little person walking around, it's my dog. He's doing his thing. But also the reason why my hair is in plaits, and well, I'm just gonna say excuse the plaits. I do braid outs and twist outs, and so yeah, I wanted to really record this video and get this message out because it's something that's been on my heart for a while, and it's something that I love talking about. And I was on my walk and my boyfriend just left for work, and I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time for me to record this video because he's not here. I know he's going to be gone for a while, and yeah, I just felt like this would be a perfect time for me to get this message out. It is 8 p.m. so it may start to dim down. I did turn on the light, but so as you saw from the title, I'm going to talk about how to become disciplined. Before I get into the hows, I did want to kind of give a little bit of context slash background of me and why I feel so strongly about this whole discipline concept or whatever. I have always been a disciplined person, and people would say discipline means you do the hard things. You do the hard things even when you don't want to, and I would pretty much say that's what discipline is. But for me, I have always been the type of person that did those quote-unquote hard things and it not feel like something that I don't want to do. So like when I was a kid, my parents never had to tell me to do my homework. They never had to check on my grades. They never got calls from teachers that, you know, I'm not doing my work. When I went to college, you know, I never failed a class, or I never, I maybe like failed a test or something, but I never like, no one ever had to tell me to do my schoolwork. No one ever had to tell me to go to work or nothing like that. I've always been the type of person where I get things done. And that doesn't mean that I'm better than another person or not, or I'm more disciplined than somebody or not. But I just say that to say that now when I reflect on my life, I have always been a very disciplined person. Like, I'm that person who doesn't call out of work, I just get things done, and it's a blessing and a curse. I say it's a curse because when you are a disciplined person, you gotta sacrifice a lot, and you're kind of lonely in a sense because, and I'll get into this a little bit later, but you're doing the things that most people are not doing, or like you're having to say no to things. But I don't even want to get into that yet because we're gonna get into that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because the video is about how to become disciplined. I never really had to become disciplined, but I will say that I've had to become more disciplined with new things in my life, and I'll talk about that too a little bit. So the first thing I want, and if you see me looking, it's because I'm looking at my phone because I wrote notes on this because that's how much I care about this. So first thing, I put that discipline is a matter of what's important to you, what holds value, and then you execute on that. So honestly, discipline is just a matter of what do you care about, or what are you working towards, and what are you gonna do to make that happen for yourself. And this doesn't have to literally be like career wise or money wise. This could literally be like there's something about your life that you want to change. So that could be how you eat or your exercise. Of course, I'm going to say those first. And maybe like your skincare. Like me personally, that's something that I'm trying to become more disciplined on. I'm very good with like washing my face in the mornings after the gym. Well, before I go to the gym and after I go to the gym. But at nighttime, I am a little bit lazy, and I sometimes skip like my nighttime routine. And I know that that's not a good thing, just because, I go the whole day and then I don't wash my face on it. That sounds so nasty, but I'm just being honest with y'all. So now I'm trying to become more disciplined with making sure that I don't skip that at night. So the last few nights I've been going to make sure that I wash my face with cleanser and everything every single night. That's something that I'm trying to become disciplined with. But like I said, it doesn't have to be career-wise and money-wise. It could literally be anything that you have going on in your life. Whether that's reading, you want to read a book once a month, or you want to save a certain amount of money in a week or in a month or whatever, 6 months. Whatever the case is, you have something that you want to succeed in, or you want to become better at, and it's something that you have to work on constantly. That requires discipline. And so that's what I mean when I say it has to do with something that you hold value. It has to be important to you personally. So the first thing I would say to do is write out specific goals, goals that you can measure. It's kind of hard to be disciplined when you don't know what you're working towards. Like for instance, money wise, I don't really, right now in my life, I don't really have a goal for how much money I want to save. My goal right now is just to save money. But you may be somebody who has a savings goal. You might say that you want to save $1,000 in 2 months or whatever. So you're going to have to be disciplined when it comes to how much money am I going to put into my savings account every week or every 2 weeks or whatever. And then also, what am I going to sacrifice to where instead of me spending money on this, it's going to go into my savings account. And that's something that you can measure when it comes to like something that maybe can't be measured unless you actually make a goal. It's like a weight loss journey. Like, let's just say your goal is just to become a healthier person. You just want to eat healthier and you want to exercise more. Okay, that's not really something you can quote unquote measure, but let's just say that your goal is to lose 30 pounds in 6 months or whatever. That's something that you can measure. I would say try to have goals that you can measure, just so it helps hold you more accountable. So that's how you want to start it off when it comes to becoming more disciplined. You need to have goals, and everybody should have goals. Like, I don't care what nobody say, you need goals in life. We are here to progress and become better so that we can help other people. That is my philosophy on life. So in order to do that, you have to have something that you're working towards, that you're working on, even if it's not something that's really big, but you just need something that keeps you going and keeps you motivated every single day. The next thing you want to do is set a routine and write a to-do list. So I started writing to-do lists when I was in college. Of course, being that I was taking 4 or 5 classes each semester, so I always had to have to-do lists because I had assignments due, I had to go to work, I had this event or whatever it is. And my life was so much smoother when I wrote weekly to-do lists and daily to-do lists. So like literally every Sunday I had a planner. I'm really big on planners, and I still am, even though I've graduated college. So I would literally, on Sunday, I would write down everything that I have to do for the entire week. So I wouldn't put like my working out and things like that, but I would put like what assignments are due each day, what time I had to go to work each day, what I had to do on specific days. You know, I would do that every single Sunday, and then on that exact day, so Monday morning when I woke up, I would literally write down my to-do list, like what is everything that I need to do today. And that made my life so much easier because me personally, I am satisfied when I write things or check things off my list. So for me, it felt good to write a list or to-do list down, and I was able to like scratch off like, okay, I did this, I did that, I did that, okay, this is all I have left. That's just me personally, and I feel like most people are like that. People like to see themselves accomplish things. So write a to-do list, have a routine, have some sort of standard for yourself of how you want your day to go by. Even if you say, you know, everybody's circumstance is different because we all live different lives. We all have different type of jobs or whatever. So we have different responsibilities. So our lives are not the same. So like for me, for instance, right now, my job, I go to work at 10 and I get off at 6. So I wake up at 5:30-ish, no later than 6, to get up and go to the gym, all of that. And I come back home and I'm off to work by 9:30, 9:40. But I have a whole routine that I do from the time I wake up to the time I go to work, and then when I come home from work, depending on the day, I have a whole routine for what I do when I get off work. You gotta have a routine. You gotta fit time to do the things that you need to do, and it's kind of hard to do that when you don't have something to go off of. I mean, you can go off your brain, but that just causes chaos, because not only are you going off you're not going off a to-do list, you're thinking about what you have to do for the day, but you're also dealing with day-to-day things that are happening, you know, family calling you, friends calling you, or something happening at work. You're dealing with all of that in your brain. You're thinking about the future, you're thinking about the past. It's kind of going to be hard for you to really think like, okay, what am I doing when I get home? Or you might come home and be like, man, I don't feel like doing nothing. But it's going to be a little bit harder to do that if you have something to base your day off of. So have a routine and write to-do lists. Even if you just write, I'm going to go to the gym, go to work, and cook today, and then you write tomorrow after work you're going to read a book, read 10 pages, whatever it is. You need some type of routine. I don't care what nobody say, and I'm gonna say that a lot. I don't care what people say. You need a routine. We're humans. It's not always going to be perfect, but humans need structure. I don't care what nobody say. We need structure. The next thing, which is my absolute favorite thing about being disciplined, is favorite and hardest, I would say. One of the hardest. You need to limit distractions and learn how to say no. Okay, I'm gonna say 2 years ago, I was a queen at this. Like, I was the no queen. Like, I was known for saying no to everything. And I'm not bragging, but I literally said no to everything because I was living a lifestyle where I was very disciplined in college. I would say, I think it was my sophomore year. I was very disciplined, and I was in my era of like, I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm worried about myself right now. That's when I really started my fitness journey. Fast forward to today. I've kind of fallen off the wagon when it comes to saying no and limiting distractions. It seems like lately there's been a lot going on. Like, a lot going on. And then also it's June, so it's that season of like graduations, and you know, it's summer now, so parties, events. And I just moved to Atlanta a year ago, so I have family here, and you know, family love to do family things. It's been hard to say no, but I will honestly say that I have seen a difference in my life, being that I have not been saying no. And I'm not blaming it on anybody or even myself, because I think it's okay that I went through this, because now it's helping me get to where I am trying to go. And I would just say that the less distractions you have in your life, the easier it is to stay disciplined and to take care of yourself. Even just recently, like, I've kind of limited my communication with people, and I've seen a huge difference in my life, like, already, and it's only been a couple of days. And like I said, that's not to blame anybody or shun anybody or anything like that, but a lot of people, people are distractions. That's just what it is. And everyone has things going on in their life. Me personally, I'm not the person that I used to be, where I would call people and, tell them everything that's going on in my life. I have been doing it more, but I will say I'm more of a person where, like, when something's going on in my life, I try to figure it out on my own. I'm a very solution-based person, but everyone isn't like that, and that's okay. You're going to have people in your life who are going to want you to do things with them. You're going to have people in your life who want to talk to you about everything. You might be that person in your life. I feel like I'm that person in a lot of people's lives. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm happy that I can help people in any way that I can, and vice versa. But when you're trying to get to a certain place in life, there are going to be a lot of things that you just can't do anymore. And it's hard because you kind of have to distance yourself from people, especially people who are not on the same path as you, which is always the hardest thing to deal with, especially when it's family. And that's something that I've been struggling with, because I love my family. Anybody who knows me know how hard I go for my family. Like, I'm just a very family oriented person. But sometimes family can be toxic, and sometimes family can be too much on your spirit, especially when you're somebody like me who's a go-getter, who's a goal setter, who's a achiever. Like I love accomplishing things. I love challenging myself. I just love to do things that make me feel like what am I trying to say? I just love being busy. I'm just gonna say that. I love being busy and I love being productive. So for me, it's kind of hard to say no. Well, recently it's been hard to say no, but now I'm stepping back into my power where I'm saying no, and it hurts and it's hard, but I'm seeing already that I'm getting more stuff done. Even me recording this video, like, I don't think I've done a YouTube video in about 2 months. I've been uploading my shorts, but I haven't been like actually recording YouTube videos, and I want to, but I've been very distracted. And like I said, it's not to blame anybody else, but all in all, you gotta learn how to say no. You gotta learn how to put your foot down and have boundaries. Be selective on what you choose to do. Make sure that you're not doing anything that's hindering you from reaching your goals. If it's money wise, or if it's something that you really don't want to do but you're just going for that person, don't do it. Do the things that you genuinely want to do. But outside of that, you gotta stay focused, and you gotta, when you're trying to reach a goal, you have to cut out a lot of things. And this world is full of distractions. It's not even just your family or friends and stuff. Literally, the world is full of distractions. But that's a whole nother subject that I'm not talking about in another video. But just know that it's easy to be tempted, and it's easy to be distracted. So you got to learn how to figure out what's important to you, especially on this journey, and know how to weed out all the things that really are not serving you, if that makes sense. So the next thing is, and I have 2 more, you need to get comfortable knowing that you will be doing things that others are not. And that sounds kind of but it's the truth. When you're on a journey to become a better person, the average person is not doing it. I'm just being real. The average person is not intentionally trying to become a better person. They may be trying to get rich, or they may be trying to get the newest whatever, or there's a lot of things people are doing these days. But there are a select few people who are actually trying to change their life and change themselves. And when you're trying to do that, you have to change a lot. Like, you have to do a lot, and you have to stop doing a lot of stuff. So for example, the average person don't work out. The average person don't eat healthy. Do you guys know how annoying it is for me when I go to events or functions or whatever you want to call it, and people are like pointing out the fact that I eat healthy? It's like, at this point in my life, you should know that about me. So for me, I have to kind of remember that I'm the only one doing it for the most part. My boyfriend, he eats a little healthy. Well, he eats what I eat, but when he go out, he do his thing. But other than that, there aren't too many people close to me who eat healthy regularly like I do. So that's something that I always have to keep in mind, and I have to get comfortable with, because people are not going to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's going to be the case most of the time while you're on this journey to become disciplined, because you're going to be staying in the house more. The average person going to be going out every weekend. Not saying nothing wrong with it, but that's just not the season that you're in this life right now. You're going to be spending less money. You're going to be reading more. You might stop listening to music. You might start going to church. You might start going on solo dates. The average person not doing that. And I love saying the average person, if y'all haven't noticed. But yeah, most people around you are not doing it. Unless you have found a great set of friends, or you have recruited those family members who are on the same journey as you, you ain't gonna find that nowhere else. Nobody around you is gonna be doing that. So you're gonna be alone, and it's gonna be it's going to be hard and heartbreaking, because once your mind starts changing, you see things differently, you hear things differently, and you start to behave differently just off wham, just strictly what am I trying to say? Just strictly off the fact that your mind has changed. And so when you're around people, you're going to realize that you are a lot different from, you're now becoming more different than those that are around you. But that's a whole nother subject. So yeah, you just have to get comfortable knowing that the people around you are not going to be doing the same things that you're doing. And you're going to have to learn how to either balance that or stay away from it. Me personally, I try to balance it, and it's not good for me personally, so I just choose to kind of stay away from it. And I might dip and dab every now and then, but I have been trying to be more social slash like, I don't know, be more open, I guess, and try to, I don't want to say I don't accept people, but it's just really hard for me personally to be around people that are literally doing the complete opposite of what I'm doing, because mentally we're not here, we're like here. And I'm not saying I'm better than you or anything like that, but it's just more so like, I don't think that way, I don't behave that way. And if we can't connect, it's just like, what are we doing? Because it's when you're true to what you're doing, it's going to be hard for you to really connect with people who are doing the complete opposite or thinking the complete opposite way of how you're thinking. And that's not to say that you can't have different perspectives around you or anything like that, but like me personally, I'm not about to be around somebody who drinks all the time or smokes all the time, because I don't do those things. I don't party. And once again, that's not to say I'm better than anybody, because I don't do those things, but I personally just don't do it. I never have. I drunk a little bit, but it wasn't for me, so I stopped all the way. And that's just my life. I just don't do it. I don't really have a reason, I just don't do it. But there are people who do it, and that's fine. But me personally, if we're connecting over alcohol, we're not connecting, because I don't connect over alcohol. So anyways, I say all of that to say that you're going to be one of one for the most part, like I said, unless you have some people around you who are on that same level. But don't try to change anybody. Don't try to put people on. You know, if people ask about whatever it is you're doing and they're interested in it, then of course help them. If you see that they're trying to be on the same wave as you, then of course put them on. But don't go out of your way to try to help people. That's what I had to learn. Don't go out. You can't change people. Hopefully they'll catch up to where you are at and where you are going. But otherwise, it's not your job to change people. You have to meet people where they're at and kind of keep them where they're at. You know how to deal with people. You know, because you're not going to be around these people every single day, unless it's your family that you live with. But otherwise, you don't have to deal with these people on a daily basis, hopefully. And if you don't have to deal with them, just try to learn how to coexist with them in that moment. Talk less, or just listen to what they're saying, depending on the type of, event or function y'all at. But, you don't have to... you don't have to fully engage the way that you usually would, especially if you see that person isn't really understanding you as this new person. So lastly, I would say you need to develop an intentional mindset. And that's something that has been game-changing for me, life-changing for me, because I operate on... I want to be intentional with everything that I do for the most part. Life is not perfect. You're not going to be perfect. But more often than not, you want to be intentional with your conversations, with what you're watching, what you're reading, what you're doing on a daily basis. It can get deep. You want to be intentional about your workouts. You want to be intentional about what you're eating. And this is all a journey. This is all not going to come to you easily unless it does. But otherwise, these are things that you're going to have to learn. But having an intentional mindset, like set an intention for the day. It's kind of like when you set your to-do list or your routines. You have a... you have structure as to how you're doing things and why you're doing it. So when it comes to being intentional, just think about it in a way of, you want to know your why, you know, and you want to have a reason for why you're doing things. You want to be careful. You don't want to be a careless person. And that's important because we live in a world where most people are very careless and they make mistakes, and they, you know, we're all going to make mistakes. But personally, I feel like a lot of things come from being careless. And a lot of things come from you not being intentional about what you're saying and what you're doing. And this takes a lot of mental power and a lot of self-control and a lot of willpower. But it's something that I'm learning to do, especially when it comes to conversations. Like, you know, when people call me now about things, I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Because I don't. You got to set that intention right there. I don't want to talk about it. And that's kind of hard to do depending on the person that you're talking to. But you want to be intentional about what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about, how was your day? You know, how's this going? Or, you know, I have this idea. What you think about that? I know people probably think it's like corny when people say like, oh, let's talk about this new business idea. But when you actually sit and think about the conversation that you're having, you realize that you talk about a lot of crap regularly. And that's me personally. I've realized that a lot of crap, a lot of stuff that really don't matter, and a lot of things that you have no control over. Let's start talking about the little things that we do have control over, because we all know that God controls God controls everything, and he controls you know, outcomes. He controls a lot of things, but he also gave us freedom to control ourselves. And you got to know how to have some type of self-control. You do. Self-control is very important. And so you want to be intentional. You want to have a mindset where you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So like, for instance, me personally, I'm becoming more intentional with my workouts. You know, why am I doing this workout? Why am I doing that workout? Why am I doing this for this long or this slow? My food intake, you know, why am I eating this? What is this doing for me? You know, when you actually look at your life, we do a lot of things and we don't know why we're doing it. We're just doing it because we saw it on social media or because somebody told us to do it, but we really ain't did the research on it. And that's all of us, even me. You know, we do things without really knowing why we're doing it. And that's just because of the world we live in. We live in a world where they want us to be consumers, and they want us to soak up all this stuff. So they tell us whatever they want us to hear. And we as humans soak it all in because we don't want to put in the work to figure things out on our own. But being disciplined comes with doing things on your own. It comes with really learning who you are and learning who you are as a disciplined person. You know, what type of person are you when you are working towards your goals? We're all different, and discipline will look different for all of us. But overall, discipline looks like putting yourself first and putting your goals first. And so when you're being intentional with that, you're being intentional, or you're caring about how whatever will make you feel, and how whatever will help you reach your goals. So, you know, when I say be intentional, that means when you make your routine, like, what are you doing in your routine? Are you drinking your water when you wake up? Or your tea or your coffee, whatever it is you drink in the mornings when you wake up? Is that on your to-do list? Before you go to bed at night, are you putting your workout clothes out or your work clothes out? Whatever it is, you just got to be intentional. But those are all of my tips on how to become more disciplined. The main thing is you want to limit distractions, learn your why, and have goals and have things that you're working on. Tell people no. You know, do what's best for you. You know, if on a day-to-day basis, if something happens or you notice something that doesn't really pertain to you, and it, you know, it's not having to do with like helping somebody with it or with doing something, walk away from it. You know, don't let it consume your day. Don't let it consume you. We live a very short life, and I'm sure we all can agree that We've lost people that we didn't expect we would lose, or you know, even just seeing people in the social media world or celebrity world, you know, seeing people lose moms and daughters and sons and stuff. That's hard to see. Me personally, I hate seeing that, but it's life. But life is short. You only live once, and you don't want to live a life full of regret. You don't want to live a life where you wish you would have done the things that you wanted to do. You only got one chance on this thing. Like that's my biggest thing. Like when it come to jobs, when it come to people, you only got one chance, and we take it for granted. We could be gone tomorrow. Literally, you could be gone tomorrow. So you have to live every day like you don't know if tomorrow is coming. You do, and not to say that in a dark way, but more so just live life like you have something to work for. You have something that you are striving for. You want to make people around you happy. You want to take care of your family. You want to take care of yourself, your neighborhood, your city, whatever goal you have. Live every day as if that could come sooner than you think, and all you got to do is stay disciplined. So yeah, I hope you guys could take something from this video. Excuse the mess. I see it didn't get too dark, which is cool. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this video. There's gonna be more, because I love to sit and talk about these things. I could have kept going, but I'm trying to stop for the sake of y'all time. But if you're new here, my name is Amari Clea. I post health content, so I post my fitness stuff and my nutrition, everything health related. I love health, everything health. And I also post things like this. I love to sit down and talk a lot. I love to talk. So yeah, if you guys want to see that type of content, subscribe to my channel and follow me on my socials. I'll put all of that in my description box. But I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.